One of the things I'm most frequently asked is, how do I keep up with music technology news or technology news in general? And the first thing I'd say is that you don't really have to keep up with everything all the time. So I do like to try to keep up with what's going on, but I often don't know everything that's going on all the time, and I find out information from other people. So I guess that's one of my sources of information. I thought I might talk about a few of the ways that I do like to keep up with things or to learn about new subject areas or topics and discover what other people are doing in those areas. So one of the best things that I've done in the past few years is to start listening to podcasts. Now, podcasts are fantastic free audio shows, essentially a radio show that's on demand. If you haven't gotten into podcasts already, I would highly recommend it. It's something that I do every single day, and because all this information is free, I think it's such a fantastic thing. The beauty of podcasts is that you can listen to them anywhere you like, and it's one of the only ways that you can consume information while you're doing something else. So the things that I like to do, or the times that I like to listen to podcasts, are in the car. That's a good one, when you're driving from one place to another. A lot of the commercial radio stations, I get tired of listening to adverts and things, so I put my own podcast on instead and listen to that. It's great because it's something I'm specifically interested in, because I've chosen to subscribe to the show in iTunes. And I've downloaded that podcast onto my phone. I plug my phone into my car speaker and off I go. It's a fantastic way to consume information. On the aeroplane is another time, but on an everyday basis, I actually listen to podcasts while I'm in the shower. So I have a little speaker that I plug my phone into, and I turn the podcast on while I'm in the shower and getting ready and getting dry and getting out of the shower and getting dressed and getting my breakfast. So that's a great time. There's usually a good half an hour or 45 minutes when I'm doing all that stuff in the morning that I have time to listen to podcasts. Sometimes when I'm washing up the dishes or putting clothes in the dryer or doing all those domestic chores, I listen to podcasts while I'm doing that. So it's a great way of multitasking and taking in information while you're doing something else that you need to do anyway. Podcasts are great. There's a lot of different podcasts in the iTunes store, and as I said before, they're all free. So you basically go into the iTunes store, follow the links to podcasts, and search for something that you're interested in. There are a number of technology-related shows that you can subscribe to. There's some education technology ones, there's general education ones. There are some which are highly produced by sort of professional radio stations like Radio National or NPR. Many other of the podcasts are just produced by regular people. So there are a number of podcasts that are made by teachers who talk about what they do in the classroom, and they can be really useful to get ideas for ways to use technology with students or latest things that have come out that I may not be aware of. I often discover information that way. I listen to a lot of business podcasts, so that's one of my favourite things to do, so I subscribe to those. Every time a new episode comes out, it comes onto my iPhone automatically. I don't need to go back in and get it. It just appears there directly, and it's as I said, it's my favourite way to consume information. A little secret, I'm actually planning on making my own podcast about music technology in education, and I'm hoping to get that done and released maybe later in this year, this current year, 2015. So look out for that one coming soon. Another way I like to consume news or find out what's happening is to read blogs, so articles online, and some of the great ones that are produced by magazines are really useful. So there's Music Technology. The website I believe is musictech.net. And there's Create Digital Music. That's a great one for keeping up about apps and software and hardware and other things that are coming out as well. Websites like Lifehacker or Mashable or Audio Tutes, all of those also have information regularly about technology and music, and I often see those articles, and that's where I learn about new things that are coming out. Other than that, the social media networks. This is one of the most common places that I find out information. So Twitter is a great one, a great place to connect with other teachers and keep up with news that way. Facebook, of course, I spend probably most of my time on Facebook out of the social networks, and that's a great place to find out information just from my friends who are also musicians and teachers. But also by keeping up with certain Facebook pages that might be run by businesses. So there are a number of teachers who have their own Facebook pages, and I will subscribe to those. I have a business Facebook page, Midnight Music, if you want to go and check that out on Facebook. And I post links and articles and information that I find, or useful videos or news type things, and hopefully that helps some of you keep up with the music technology news too. So Facebook pages is a great thing, so finding some of those to subscribe to is really, really useful. One of my favourite places, but dangerous as well because it's so good, is Pinterest. And if you haven't used Pinterest before, it's kind of like an online pin board, I suppose. It's a place to collect and share links to things that you want to save online. So I have a Pinterest account where I collect and share links for music technology and education, and my account's divided up into different categories which are known as boards on Pinterest. So I have a board, for instance, for film scoring, I have one for best iPad apps for music teachers, I have one for free music technology resources, one for remixing links, and so on. I have about 40 or 50 boards, I think, at the moment, so they're all in different categories. And it's a really, really great way for me to share links to things that I'm talking about in workshops. So I just direct people to that board rather than having to send them a list of links all the time. So as well as me sharing stuff on Pinterest, I subscribe to a number of Pinterest accounts which will give me information about music and technology and education generally, and teaching, as well as other interests I might have in my life, like recipes or, garden. I'm not into gardening, but gardening, if that's your thing. There are lots of things that you can find on Pinterest. DIY stuff is massive on Pinterest, so if you're looking for that, great place to find stuff out, and things like craft as well. So definitely check out Pinterest. In all honesty, the most traffic I get from a social network to my website actually is from Pinterest. So it's bigger than Facebook even. So lots of people are finding my articles and my information on there and coming to my website from Pinterest itself. And I do the same thing. I look at articles that they've shared on Pinterest and I visit their website in the same way. So for me, that's a great way to work out what's going on in the world and find new ideas for things. But the bottom line is really, I would say, don't feel the pressure to keep up with everything all the time. I certainly don't worry about that. The basic principles don't change over the years. You want you want technology and music to be creative. You want it to enhance what you do or increase your productivity or make whatever project it is maybe more interesting to students, or maybe it's a different way of presenting the same information. So I like to think of technology integration in that sort of way. For me, it's not a standalone thing. I don't feel the need to always have the latest version of the software. I will upgrade if I think there's a definite need to. I don't run out and buy the latest products from Apple when they're released, even though I have a few friends who do that. I like to sit back and wait just a little bit to see what issues there might be, and maybe they get ironed out over time. So don't feel the need to keep up with the latest stuff, but it's good to be aware of also what's going on in the world, and then you can take or leave the information as you see fit. So I hope that helps answer the question about how I keep up with music technology. It'd be great for you to share with how you keep up with it. So maybe post a comment below the video and let me know what sort of sources of information you have for keeping up with news.